right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. What's good, YouTube? All right, all right, all right. What's good, YouTube? What up, what up, what up? What's good, YouTube? All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? I'm just getting started right now. I'm working on this Telecaster guitar. I'll go over everything. If you guys have any questions, let me know. It's been a while. That's my chair squeaking. All right. What's up, everybody? I'm just kind of getting started here. How's it going, everybody? My name's Lou. Some of you guys know me already because I go live every once in a while. I am working on this custom Telecaster. I'll go over everything pretty much that I did to it. I kind of already started on it beforehand. And yeah, you guys are going to see it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. If you guys have any questions, just, oi. That's funny. We used to do that in high school all the time. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment.
What up?
Jenny, hey, what up, Jen? Yeah, I'm live.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, come over here and introduce yourself. Hurry up. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it just depends. So, Nick, if you want to remove the buzz off of your amp, it could be a few things. Man, first I would start off with your guitar. Usually, the guitar is not grounded. With the cheaper stuff, and this is just from experience, but like if you have like a Squire, sometimes the pots or the pickups are noisy, just because they're made with like cheap material and stuff like that. So I don't know what kind of guitar you have, but sometimes that could be a factor. Another thing too is there's a thing called shielding. That's when you take off in the cavity of the guitar. You can go ahead and shield it off, and that helps a lot. It could be the cable that you're using, but if it's your amplifier and you know that for sure, you can go ahead and do, if you wanted to repair that, you can go ahead and, what kind of telly is that? This is a custom telly. It's a pretty much a parts caster. So the customer told me that I think this is, Japanese body, and then this neck right here is completely custom. It looks like fire maple just from the back right here. If you can see it, it has this like really nice like fire in the back. But yeah, so with the amplifier, if you're gonna do it yourself, I highly recommend you. I don't recommend anybody that doesn't know how to work on amps to go on there, to go on in there, because you can get shocked. There's high voltage capacitors that hold charge, but usually what it is on the amplifier, it's capacitors. And you know what? That's a cool point that you brought it up, because I'm going to show you this right here. So right here, you could see this amplifier. This is an old 1950s super lead Marshall amplifier, and I took these things out of it. These very rarely go out, but they went out. I mean, it's from the 70s, so changing those does a huge thing. Also, if you have, and this amplifier, it has the old, the circuit boards that are like kind of wax, and if you like heat them up, you can like steam them and then take off the dirt, because all that stuff becomes conductive, and that can really that can make your amp noisy. I just did it on a Fender Deluxe, and it would have been cool to kind of give an example. But yeah, that's one way to do it. And then another thing too is it just depends on what kind of amp you have. I mean, if you have one of like a tube amp and stuff like that, it's probably worth it to get it worked on. But I don't want to, I don't want to talk bad or talk down on people's gear and stuff like that, because I know sometimes you pay for what you get, and sometimes that's all you have. But I did have one client that they had an amplifier, and it was a tube amp, but it was like the cheapest tube amp, and they spent so much money on it. And I asked them if it was sentimental, and it wasn't even sentimental to them. So in my opinion, they could have just took all that money and bought a brand new one. So I never argue with sentimental, by the way. If a guitar is sentimental, hey man, I worked on. People have spent thousands of dollars on a guitar that I had to repair and rebuild, and it wasn't worth anything, but to them it was worth everything. So if something's sentimental to you, just do that. The cheap tube amp, what model was it? Um, it was a pawn shop Fender, and those are not bad, but they're they're not like a Fender Deluxe or a Fender Reverb or anything like that. But you could look it up. It's called the Fender Pawn Shop, and yeah, I had to work on that thing a few times. Um, okay, so let's go, and what I'm gonna do is what I like to look at. So this guitar, I pretty much set it up already. I did everything to it. If you look right here, this is the newer style saddles on a Telecaster. So what I like to do is I like to look down these right here. Watch, I'll show you guys. I like to look down them like this and make sure that they're all straight, because you do have two Allen keys that you have to adjust like the saddle. So the way I do that is I like to let it rest on my neck like this, on my shoulder. Sorry. And then I kind of look down right here and make sure that they're all straight. And then I just got to find the Allen key. So give me 1 second. All right. Nope. Too small. Perfect. So basically, what I'm doing is I am just setting the action on the bridge right here. Okay, and a lot of people ask me like, "Hey, is that how you set the action?" Yes and no. The action comes from three places, and I'll show you guys that real quick. First thing is I definitely like to make sure that the neck is where it needs to be as far as it being the relief on the truss rod. That's the first thing for me. I kind of go based off Fender. I know I mentioned it to a lot of my lives that I used to work at Fender Corona, worked there for some time. Not long, but it was enough to kind of get me started. How do you figure out what gauge strings to get? Wait, hold on one second. So for strings, what you want to do is first of all, everything is subjective in music. So as far as guitar playing, if you want to choose your type of strings, just choose the one that you're comfortable with. How do you figure that out? I used to work at Guitar Center, and I used to tell people this all the time. If you want to go ahead and know what kind of strings to get, just try them all. You know, see if you like the lighter ones, see if you like the heavier ones. Phosphor bronze, 80/20. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So, first off, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but I highly recommend Elixirs. I feel like they're the best string on the market. They are very expensive. I have a pack right here. This is what I use for myself. I use the Nano Web Phosphor Bronze Light, and they're these ones. I think I'm in California, so these run about 18 bucks. But yeah, how do you figure out the gauge? If you break a string, first of all, if you break a string, I used to be a tech at Guitar Center. I used to tell people this all the time. Some people would come in, they broke one string, right? I look at all the other strings and they're kind of rusty, they're kind of old, you know. I always tell people if you break one string, all those other strings are on their way to break too. So just get a new pack. If a string breaks, which is very common when you're restringing and the last string breaks, sometimes they're not even wound right from the factory. I totally get that. If that happens, look at the pack that you got. And in this here, you know what? Let me show you. Okay, so for right here. So let's say you got this pack right here, right? You got the 13. This is like totally opposite, but let's say you got 1353. You're gonna want to look in the back, and pretty much every string company does this. You look right here, and it tells you the gauge. It tells you in millimeters and inches. Now, when you go to Guitar Center, usually they'll have these for electric strings. So these and electric strings, I know they say electric or acoustic. I would definitely I would get, these to me are electric strings. And I don't use these on acoustic. So what you could do, let's say you break the last string and it's a fresh pack, but you broke that last one. Grab the pack of strings that you had and then see which one it is. If it's the B string on this one right here, you're going to look at the second string. It's going to say B string. It's going to be 0.7017. So if you look right here, I have a bunch of singles, and you can see right here that are, 30, 62, whatever. Oh, there you go. So 17, this would be your B string. Okay. So that's a lot of the packages from the strings, they do tell you what strings, the gauges and all that stuff. So that's one way. But if you're trying to look for strings that you want to play with, that you know, because all the strings are different. You have phosphor bronze, you have 80/20. Some of them sound warm, some of them sound bright. The thickness, some people like really, really thin strings. I feel like those strings kind of lose their tone. So I like kind of medium strings. So I like anywhere from like 10 to 11 when I'm playing electric. Yeah, so yeah, these are really cool though. The elixirs are amazing. They last so long. I use StuMac. Understanding radius gauge. Yeah, StuMac is great. I love StuMac too. I buy from them all the time. They are expensive, but you're paying for what you get. I mean, in my opinion, they're good quality tools. So I don't really care about that. Out of curiosity, how often do people break strings? That's good. Ain't is that Angel? Angel. I'm sorry, not, it's not Angel. That's Angel. Yeah. So the strings, yeah, once they start sounding dead, it's cool to change them. You know, that's what I do. Once they start sounding dead, or when I do play acoustic, because I play a lot of acoustic at my gigs, the G string usually is the string that you bend and stuff like that. So, and that one's usually wound with the elixirs. So when I start seeing it break up with the frets, that's when I start to change them. There's some people, and again, I don't mean to, you know, talk bad about people that I work on their stuff, but some people they leave them on for years. And I had one client that told me, yeah, I change them every year. And I couldn't, I was baffled. I couldn't believe it. I saw his guitar, and yeah, it looked like he changed it every year. I wonder what else he changes every year. Hopefully not his underpants, but yeah, definitely change that every time you feel like they're older. And if you have strings for like, let's just say a month, and you're playing all the time, and one string breaks, the other strings are on their way to break too. So I know some people, you know, like to save money and stuff, and that's cool. But if one string breaks, just change them all. Get a fresh pack. You're gonna get a fresh sound. It's gonna be good. Another thing too is it just depends too, because some people play like, I know this one dude that plays like the Hulk, and he's breaking strings all the time, and they're like fresh packs. So I'm not saying you can't play like that, but try thicker gauges. Yeah. And if you have to get a bridge doctor, do it. You used to buy really thick strings. Yeah, okay, cool. So you used to buy the thick strings. Yeah, again, it's all preference. I mean, I used to buy the Jimi Hendrix strings, and little did I know they were literally the extra slinky, but I paid more money because it had Jimmy's face on it. So, you know, it's good that you kind of found your way in getting the strings that you really like. I used to get thick strings too. I think I went up to 12s on electric, and my fingers started hurting. They started bleeding. And the reason why I went up to 12s is because I wanted to be like Stevie Ray Vaughan. But anyway, what is a bridge doctor? You know what? Just for the sake of time, because I got a little time right now before I go into class, I'm going to show you what a bridge doctor is. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab that guitar. I'll be right back. All right, so I got this acoustic guitar here. This was my gigger. I gigged with this thing for 6 years. It needed a neck reset. The neck kind of cracked right here, so I did a neck reset. It's ready to go. This guitar, like I'm telling you right now, it was used and abused because I played gigs every weekend, even throughout the week. So it was really really bad. I probably did about, I want to say, 10 refrets. Again, this guitar, I bought it 6 years ago, and it needed a neck reset already. Quick thing for everybody: use a humidifier. You have to do that. The humidifier is going to humidify your guitar. Go down to Guitar Center or wherever you're at, and look, you can grab one of these. They're $6. This is a little sponge inside. You wet that sponge, you put it into your guitar right here where the strings are at. It's going to humidify the whole thing. Back to somebody asked me what a bridge doctor is. A bridge doctor is so as I was using this guitar, I didn't humidify the guitar, right? So there's different reasons to use a bridge doctor. I didn't I didn't I didn't humidify the guitar. So what happens when you don't humidify a guitar? The wood starts to get dry, and things start popping off. Okay, the bridge starts lifting right here. The glue comes undone. It gets weak. Frets start kind of popping out a little bit. You use a fret rocker to rock the frets. That's a big reason why the wood starts drying up. You don't want that to happen. If you get a more expensive guitar and it has binding, like this is like fake binding, but when it has the real binding right here, that stuff starts coming off. And usually, like the Taylors or Martins, they'll have that type of binding. And I used to get people at Guitar Center all the time coming in saying, "Hey, man, why is my thing coming off?" And I tell them, "Do you have a humidifier?" No, that's the reason why. It has to do with the humidifier. With acoustic guitars, even semi hollow body guitars, just throw one in there. They have all different types. Sorry to digress. Back to the bridge doctor. The bridge doctor. The reason why I started using it is because I didn't humidify my guitar and it started lifting right here. Okay, this part right here, it's called the belly. It started to form a belly bulge. Okay, and what happens is the bridge is not coming undone, right? But the wood is moving this way. Okay, I don't know if you could see that. It starts to move this way. So what happens with that is it starts lifting, and you get high action right here in this area. The way I play, I'm a live looper, so I start shredding right here on this side of the guitar, and it started to get real high, right? So what I did was I steamed the guitar. I went ahead and put a flat board right here, and I clamped it, and I got the belly bulge down. The belly bulge was perfect, right? But from doing that ever again, I put a bridge doctor. A bridge doctor is a piece of wood. It's a piece of wood, and it's a dowel. Okay, and what happens is you get that piece of wood, and it's inside the guitar. So let me see if you could see it. You could probably barely see it right there. It's just this piece of wood that's in there, and the dowel. So let me try to do this as best as I can. The piece of wood is right here, right? On the inside of the bridge, on the inside of the guitar. And then the dowel comes down and it hits a block right here, right? And inside, if you can see, inside, you could barely see it right there. There's a little Allen wrench that you can turn, and it's going to push that dowel, right? Where does it hang on to? It hangs on right here. So if you look right here, I had to add this little screw. A lot of bridge doctors, they come with that, and they come with this little screw right here, and they also come with an inlay, so you don't have a screw looking like right here. I mean, I was playing so much that the damn inlay probably stuck to my elbow, and I never knew because I was playing so damn much. So this is this right here. It has a bridge doctor on it. You can tell because it has a screw right here. So that will prohibit. There's tension, and it brings the bridge flat, and there's tension right here because I can control that tension with that little dowel in there, the dowel that's in there, and the Allen key that I can turn to put tension on it. So that was the reason why I used it. A lot of people think that, hey, I'm gonna get a bridge doctor and fix the bridge that's lifting up. You cannot do that. I know some people to do that. Don't do that because it's just gonna make it worse. Another thing too is I used to do a lot of bajo quintos, which are Spanish, more Mexican traditional music. They use that in those, and it's the 12 string. A lot of norteño music, they use that guitar. A popular guitar is the Takamine, and they all use bridge doctors because the bajo quinto, it's pretty much a 12 string, right? And the 12 string, you have the thin string and then you have the thicker string, right? Well, in the style of music of norteño, they use double packs. So they use two packs of regular string guitars. So you would imagine that you would have two thick ones right here of the low E, and everything is doubled. That's twice the tension. When people would do that, they would bring their guitars and their bridge was literally coming off. And I tell them, you're using double packs. You don't have a bridge doctor. So if you play norteño music or Mexican regional music, you're gonna want to put a bridge doctor on there if you are using double packs. Okay, that's pretty much I guess the term that they use for that. So that's pretty much what a bridge doctor is. They're not that expensive. You guys can check them out on Amazon. I used to use Ernie Ball, and so many people endorsed it. I like Ernie Ball. They're cool, but just again, this is all preference. I'm not telling you that Ernie Ball sucks, but Ernie Ball, to me, they would die out so fast. But when you first play when you put strings on and they're brand new, it's the most beautiful sound ever. But then you wake up in the morning and they're not there anymore. It's like they abandoned you. So I like to use Elixir because I found Elixir to be very, very great. Diodario, oh my gosh, Diodario is amazing too. I like the NYXLs; those are great. Even these, for my customers, I always get the standard Diodario ones. Those ones are very reasonable and they last a long time with the tone in them. What's your favorite kind of guitar? Ooh, man. I'm a Stratocaster guy. So if you guys have me on social media, you'll see me playing with the Strat all the time. I love Strats. I love Telecasters. But I mean, I love all type of guitars. I also like the Gibsons. Those are really nice. I just played a Gibson acoustic at a recording session, and it was so nice, so beautiful. So, but I would say my most comfortable is a C-neck Stratocaster. This one right here. Let me put this guitar down. I'll tell you guys right now. So the cool thing about this guitar, if you guys like Gibsons or D-necks, you know, this guitar usually this guitar would have a C-neck, you know, standard typical Fender thing, but this is a D-neck. This thing is so round. It's like a Les Paul. It's like a Gibson. No Ibanez's, huh? No, but I like Ibanez. I think they're amazing. I went to the NAMM show this year and they had some really, really cool ones there that I saw in like 5 months. I mean, it just depends too. You'd be surprised. I usually change my strings every week because I play so damn much. I'm doing so much gigs all the time. Harley Benton. Yeah. Was it Harley Benton? Okay, no, I'm getting them confused. I'm getting confused with the Greg Bennett. I used to work at this music store, and that's all they would sell, Greg Bennett. I'm not gonna lie, man, those were trash. But Harley Benton, those are cool. Those are really cool. I came across a few of those guitars. Actually, at Guitar Center, they had when I was working there, it was a Harley Benton. I think it was Telecaster style. They wanted $150 for it, and the body was straight mahogany. It was so heavy, like it was a really well made guitar. It was a used one. Somebody just brought it in. Our pants. I don't know what pants means. Is that like slang for like the shit or something or yeah? Because all the hardware from Gibson is elite. Also, if some of you guitar heads out there want to look at like boutique stuff, I went to the NAMM show and they had a guitar that was it was called Novo, and they're from Nashville, and they were just ridiculous. They had Fender style guitars. They had Les Paul style guitars, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it felt better than Gibson and Fender. Like these things were they were just elite. Check them out. They're called Novo Guitars. They are in Nashville, and they were at the NAMM show. It was super cool. So again, guys, what I'm doing is, remember I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm just gonna throw this on my shoulder like that and just kind of look down. Let me just show you what I see. So when I look down right here, I don't know if you could see it, but they're kind of crooked, you know, like this one is totally crooked. So you don't want that, even though you have like a good action, you don't want it to look like that. Yeah, you don't want it to look like that because it's well, I'm telling you guys from a, you know, kind of business perspective. I don't want my customers looking at that and say, "Hey, man, that looks wrong," you know. Yeah, you know what, Amos? Yeah, bro, I would have to agree with you 100%. I would definitely, and another thing too is how the strings go through the body. I mean, you have some of these cheaper Squires that, you know, it's not a through body, the strings, but I would definitely have to agree with you on that. Is definitely that it has to do with the bridge, you know, vibrating through the whole body. Unlike Stratocasters, I know Stratocasters is pretty much the pickups are mountain. Everything's like kind of like, it's not like mounted to the body, you know. Ingrid,
Yeah, hi.
hey, hello. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, guys, so there's, maybe this one's too small. Give me 1 second. Yeah, but that's a good suggestion, man. I've grown to love tele guitars. Yeah, a lot of that's yeah, a lot of people call me for that. They say they tried to mess with, you know, the saddles and stuff, and they'll be like, "Hey, man, can you fix it for me?" And I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I'm here for, you know. But if you guys have any questions, you know, I'm not. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but everybody has different methods. I can learn from people as well, you know. Yeah, it's a hardtail. Okay. Frank Zappa fan. I think he was amazing, man. Just like what he stood for, and yeah, dude, for sure I am. He's a guitar legend, you know. I will say this though, as much as I am a Fender guy, I love G&L, and I think G&L is, I think they make the Telecaster and Fender a little bit better than Fender does. You know, I'm talking G&L. G&L is really, really close by me, actually. So their factory's super close. I'm in Orange County, so they're like right here. And Fender's a little further away, but I would say G&L, their guitars, they're definitely, they have more detail, and I just think they're well, that makes sense. They're not, you know, like massively produced like Fender is. Fender, when I was there, Fender was backed up a few years. You know, you couldn't order anything from them because you would get it in 2 to 3 years. Anything custom, at least. Nano Cortex. Is that the pedal? The Nano Cortex? I think so. Because I know they have the Cortex pedal. I didn't see any. I was between the guitar and the audio engineering section, but more of the audio stuff because you know that's like my main gig. Big boy. Yeah. So again, guys, I just have the guitar on my shoulder, and I'm doing this right here. And pretty much what I'm doing is I'm straightening them all out. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, guys, so that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of bringing these together. Now, sometimes these will get stuck and it will be kind of crooked like that. And what I will do is I'll get a flathead and kind of go in here and yeah, so there you go. It's a little straighter now. Once you get it flat, you can go ahead and start, let me see. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. There's a lot of pedals that, you know, um, the one that I have the GX 1000 by Boss, and that one's pretty cool. That you can go ahead and build your own stuff, and you know, the best one that I've heard is did I do any cool clinics at NAM? Dude, NAM was freaking gnarly, man. I had the best time. I love going to NAM. It was cool. Yeah, I mean, what NAM to me is for is networking, and definitely there was one called what is it? I think it was Bass Baby. That we did like a whole experience with their speakers. It was gnarly. And then we did what else? They had the one with the ear where they can go ahead and do your ear for in ears. I didn't do that, but Avid had some pretty cool stuff. Pure Mix was there. If you guys are into audio, Pure Mix had a lot of cool stuff. You know what? I never tried that one. Arnold. I never tried that looper. The looper that I use is the RC 600, and I freaking love that thing. I love it. It's awesome. I'll I've been trying to do. If you guys look at my page, I uploaded a live looping video, and it's like my biggest video. It has like, it's a short actually. It has like, I think it has like 100,000 like plays and stuff like that. So if you guys look at that, any of the live loopers here, if you guys look at that video, you could see what I'm using there, and I'm using the GR55, which is the guitar synthesizer, right? With a RC30, which is a looper. It's a small looper that that Boss made. It has two channels, but I have a whole new system. I rebuilt a whole new looper pedal, and if you guys want to check it out, go on my YouTube, and then you guys could look at my shorts, and then it should be the video right there. Tell me about that. Yeah, you guys should check that out if you guys are into live looping. Or you can go to Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. I'm That's my stage name, Lou Lagoon, LOULAGOON, and then you'll see all my stuff there. But definitely, Arnold, if you're, I want to check that pedal out because I'm always, looking to, you know, do other things. I really like the Boss, their looping stuff. I like it. It's not bad. I have tried some other stuff like the Kemper. I know you can make that a whole looping thing, but so far I only have purchased all of the Boss ones. Like that, when I started live looping, I did Boss only. Actually, I started out with the Ditto with I think it's TC Electronics. I gotta go. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. Peace out. You have a good one. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, dude, you have to check out. If you check out some of my live videos, Arnold, you'll see that I have a lot of stuff there, and for like live looping, because I mainly get hired for live looping, and I'm telling you, dude, the RC600. The cool thing about that is, yeah, it's a nice telly. Thank you so much. It's a custom telly for a customer. I'll go ahead and talk about that. Yes, these are passive. They're the passive Seymour Duncan hot rails, just to kind of beef it up. But yeah, Arnold, the RC600, what I like about it is I connected a MIDI controller to it, and you can trigger sample packs. They have a bunch of them too. So you can trigger all of like they have like the basic stuff of like Roland, right? Because Roland is Boss. So they have like the basic stuff, basic kits of like the TR-808, TR-909, like stuff like that, And then I use an Akai Mini, so just check it out, dude. It's something that like, if you haven't like really gotten that far in your looping stage, it's something to really get into because you can really it's a lot of fun to loop with like sampling samples. Sorry, sample or looping the samples, which are the drums that come in the same unit. So you don't have to. When I go to a gig, I like to just freaking. I like to bring the minimal. So and I'll go over my pedal board one day. I want to do a live on that too, where I go over my live looping pedal board, because I got people asking me all the time when I'm gonna go over, and people think I'm holding on to my secrets. It's no secret, man. Just I'm kind of a nerd in a way. I read all the manuals, which I think is good. Yeah, they're cool, and I usually do everything on a DAW too, like when I produce and stuff. But what I like is for live, I strictly go off the looper, and when I go into the studio, it's like I don't know. I feel like having like that live performance background and skill. When you go to the studio, it's like, oh man, I can produce this and that. It just makes it easier, in my opinion. So if you get into that, that would be cool. What DAW do you use, man? Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining in so much. I apologize. I haven't gotten live in a while. I know some of you, really think Studio One. Okay, cool, man. I heard a lot of good things about that. I'm a Logic Pro Tools guy, so yeah. But yeah, I recently I don't know if it supports Studio One, Arnold, but if you check out I have got a little artist deal thing going with Nectar. That's what they're called, Nectar. Check them out. They have a thing called the CS12. If you run, I have my studio in my room, and I didn't want to bring in racks and outboard gear and all that stuff. This is just a laptop with a small MIDI keyboard and a controller, the CS12. Check it out, man. It's by Nectar. I don't know if Studio One supports it, but I know Logic does. And it's just, if you have that type of setup like me, I would highly advise you to check it out because it's amazing. It's a little controller. I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, it's the Nectar CS12. It's super cool. All right, back to guitars. So I pretty much got all these straight, and the way they look is they kind of look like little stairs, that go up. How do I check that? You put your capo on the first fret, and then I have my lucky ruler. I'm gonna tell you guys a story about this ruler right here. I have done probably over maybe 350 to 400 setups on this ruler. It is huge. I measure in 30 seconds. I'm like halfway blind, so I need the big one, which is great. I have the Stumac one, which is the card. It's amazing, but measuring in 64ths is crazy to me. It's kind of difficult to do that. So what I do is, remember, I have my capo on the first fret. I'm going to hold my guitar like I'm playing it, okay? And the reason why I do that is because, again, this is all preference. I don't want anybody to say, hey, man, you don't know what you're talking about. This is the way I do my setups. And, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I'm all open to feedback. But I do it like I'm playing, like this, right? And then I grab my ruler, and on the last two frets, I'm going to put it right there. And I go down every string. And what I'm measuring on this guitar right here, Fender, what they do is they use 9-gauge strings, which these are 10s, okay? And I measure 2 30-seconds for every string, okay? That's the height that it should be at because it's a standard. They want it standard. It's cool. If you want to go lower than that, you can go lower than that. I have a little, how do I say it? When customers come up to me and say, hey man, I want it as low as possible. There's a little formula that I do to get it that low, But yeah, anyway, guys, this guitar is pretty much set up as far as the intonation. I did that earlier. If you guys want to do intonation, I know some people use this little guy right here. They use the snark. This is cool, right? Well, not really. I'm going to be honest with you. The intonation it has to be like spot on, right? This does not cut it. I know some people tell me they do it. Hey, that's fine. I like to be precise. I use this bad boy right here, okay? This thing is classic. They are the best in the business. Strobe tuners. It's like the tech tuner. I do use this. It's one of the strobe ones that kind of, when you hit an E, you're gonna see the little things move, the little strobes moving, and then when it stops, you're dead center. Check it out. These are the strobe tuner. They also have a pedal version, which is really really cool too, for a pedal board. But I went ahead and did the intonation, so everything's good. Right here on these hot rails, The pickup height, it just depends on what you want to do. Usually Fender is what is it? It's is it I think it's 4 on the bass and 3 on the treble. You know, for these hot rails right here, I kind of want them to sound hot. So I'm going to go 3. The way you do that is hold your guitar like this. You're going to push the last fret down and you're going to measure on the hot rails. So actually, I'm gonna go 3-2, and these are already at 3-2, which is good. So yeah, that right there, these things are good. They're solid to go. What I'm gonna do is let me go ahead and plug this in. Let's check it out. Actually, I'm gonna be right back, guys. Give me probably like 5 minutes. I'm gonna plug this thing in and I'm gonna play for you guys, just to see how it sounds. And there's a little, sound check that I like to do, just because if you're ever doing this for customers or anything like that, you want to make sure you check everything. Okay. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. What's up, everybody? I'm back. Studio One. Yeah, Studio One's really cool. Again, I've seen people work on it, but I never worked on it myself. Hey, Mondo, how's it going?
Hey, Luigi, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's great.
All right.
Uh-huh. Oh, the personas. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, bro. The bundle. Yeah, I was like, did it? The bundle might have came with like a condenser and like some like studio monitors. If it's the one I'm talking about, it's like a tiny little black one. Yeah, man. I started on a yeah. It's all good, man. I mean, everybody starts from somewhere, and it's just crazy how like we have all this stuff at home now. This little interface you can record, and back then you had to go to a studio, and you had to like everybody has this stuff from their house now. So I think it's pretty cool. I got into audio probably about, man, I want to say like 10 years ago. and there was already people using interfaces and stuff. So I was like, okay. But I've heard the history and I've heard how convenient it is. I do. I'm a musician. I started out playing music, but I got into audio later, and it blew my mind because I didn't know anything about that until I started studying audio and composing music and stuff like that, and it just blew my mind. Is anyone looking for an interface for Windows? Yeah, I don't use Windows, but I know there's people that do. All right. All right, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Let's check it out. Let's see what it sounds like. And there you go. All right. Let me just tune it up real quick, and then let's see what it sounds like. Let's see what's going on. Yes, Arnold. That's pretty much what I did, man. I went to school for classical, singing classical. I loved, anything like that. And yeah, I was born in '91. That's funny. I think it says it on my handle or something. I know I'm a dinosaur, right? But anyway, I went to school for doing classical singing, and I loved it. It was awesome. I was always a guitar player, and I started going into a composing program, but this was a classical composing program. And man, dude, these classes were just like the composing and the music theory and all that stuff. I knew guitar theory, I knew music theory, I know how it works, but everything was just so overwhelming. And we got into four-part writing, and four-part writing I just was not a fan of. And that's pretty much like the essence of doing that. So I left school because I was gigging so much, and I wanted to go back. So I went back a few years later, and I talked to a counselor, and they told me, "Hey, why don't you just try a certificate program, right? Just a certificate program of recording and engineering, recording and production. That's what the program was." So I went to a community college. I started taking the classes. They took us into a room that had an audient board. I think it was like 64 channels. I like literally like I ran for the hills, dude. I looked at all the knobs and I got an anxiety attack. And one of my professors just made it sound so easy. And little by little, I wanted to quit like three times through the program. Little by little, I kept going and going and going, and then I started doing like very small mixes. I started doing some production stuff. I started doing some just working in the box a lot, like just doing that kind of stuff and recording, and I just fell in love with it. And I meet a lot of people through my guitar business, and I tell them I produce because that's what I like to do. That's my main thing is producing music, taking someone's idea and just making it, making it making it big, making it huge, making it a big song, or making it just awesome, So yeah, that's pretty much it. I still am a musician. I still go out there and play. I still play a lot of gigs. I do live looping most, but I also play with my band. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, Arnold, for sure. But I just love like the whole like sound design stuff that I've learned, and like, it just, the way I look at it is it pretty much like gets you talking about it's like an artist that has, colors, and they're going to paint a canvas. And if you give him 5 colors, he's going to get creative. But what if you gave him 30 colors? That's kind of the way I look at audio engineering. All right, guys, I'm sorry to digress. Let's check this out. All right, let's go ahead and get a pick. Let's check this guitar out. Let's see the way it sounds. All right. Oh, it sounds super different with the hot rails. Let me go ahead and put some fuzz on it.
Be back, Luigi.
All right, Mondo, see you. Bye, Ingrid. There it is. Get it real dirty. Ooh, it feels so different. It's crazy because this is like a Telecaster, and it sounds like it just sounds beefier because of the hot rails. You have the Seymour Duncan hot rails, and then it has this like D neck, so it even feels different, which is super odd. But it sounds cool. Ooh. It feels really good. Let's see. Is that a it's a parts caster. So it's a Telecaster, but they kind of modded the heck out of it. This is a modern, customized headstock. You can see it doesn't say Fender on it, but it's a maple. It's a fire maple headstock. Neck, and then you have the body. I want to say this body is a Japanese Tele, and then they modded the pickups. How you have like the lipstick pickup right here and the single coil, but this is 2 hot rails. Okay, so it is a little beefier, a little more, It's thick. It's super thick. Yeah, it's super thick. It sounds great. You hear that? Okay. Let me just hear this. Oh, you hear that? You hear that? Okay, so you can hear that it has that huge buzz, which what we have to do is the customer told me that they wired these on. So we got to really see what they did here, you know? And you want to do that by, here, let me just put the camera right here. And then let me see. So let me just open this up and I got to take a look at what's going on in here. So it could be something very, very simple. It could be something with the pots. It could be something with, we just would have to see. Let's check it out. A lot of the times too, oh yeah. See, so if you look at this, so these pickups are a 5-wire conversion. And if you look right here, you could see the white and red. That's usually the coil split for Seymour Duncan. That's the code that they use. You never want to leave this out like this. You see that? You see how it's kind of like just lingering there? You never want to do that because it can touch something and ground something out. So that's something that I don't like to do. He put like some electrical tape right here to kind of hide it, I guess. Or not hide it, but keep it like with the wire. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, something that people forget is there's a ground under this bridge right here. It's literally a wire that pops out. It's coming out of the wood and it's a wire that pops out and it touches the bridge. That's one thing that kills the ground on Telecasters. A lot of basses have that too, like under the bridge. If you take the bridge off, you'll see like a little wire coming out. That's totally normal. It keeps in contact with the bridge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, and I'm gonna kind of cover this with something. Just grab a little razor blade right here. Let's take this tape off. Just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off. Perfect. Sorry guys if my sausages are in the way. Okay, so once we have that, you see how this was just like hanging out? This is a little wire right here. When it's under, this wire could touch anything. And it can create buzz. It can do a bunch of stuff. So we want to get rid of that. See, like right here on this one, he just ran it through here. Look, that one's off too. So that one was covered, but this one was just hanging out in the open, and you just don't want to have that because that will create buzz. So you guys can go ahead and get this like shrink tubing. I'll show you guys right now. This thing's cool. I love this stuff right here. This is a little shrink tube. This little shrink tube right here. So I have this little box that has a bunch of gauges. So what you can do is you can grab this shrink tube. You see how I have it in there now? Cut it to size and you can just cover up the metal piece and burn it. And when you burn it with like a lighter, it's going to shrink and it's going to tighten up. So I'll show you guys that real quick. And thank you guys so much for sticking around, man. I really appreciate you guys. If I'm yapping too much, you guys can tell me. Okay, I gotta. Arnold, peace out, brother. You're probably already gone, but yeah, it was good talking to you. But yeah, guys, if you guys see right here, I'm gonna go ahead. You could see that this wire. Watch. I'm gonna show you a cool trick. Okay, so I'm gonna grab these. I'm gonna cut like right here, just kind of cut right there. And then you see this little wire right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this little shrink tube on there. It's gonna come out like that. I'm gonna grab my lighter. Bam, you see that? It like shrunk and it's on there. So that can even be hanging out or whatever, and it won't bother anybody. Same thing with this one. This is probably one of my favorite things to do, is dealing with the wiring when I'm doing guitar repairs. I absolutely love it. So you could see right here, I'm going in and I'm putting this. You see that? Okay, so I got this one on. So all I got to do is grab this little lighter right here. Ooh, I got to watch out because you could burn yourself. Bam, you see that? Perfect. So you could see these cables right here. They're not touching anything anymore. So that's one thing. Another thing. Another thing too is there's a lot of different wiring configurations, but one thing that I like to do is you could see the volume potentiometer right here, and then the tone potentiometer. I like to connect those with the ground. Okay, and I know like that's like I like to connect these two with the ground. Some like I can even connect this lug right here to the ground as well, and I'll probably end up doing that. But and that's one way to get rid of all the buzz on a guitar. But yeah, keep vaping. I don't vape, brother. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much again. Check out my Instagram, Facebook, and or Facebook. What am I talking about? Like, I don't even go on that really anymore. TikTok. You guys can check out Lou Lagoon. I missed the buzz up. I know. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna take off right now. It was very good. Doing this live with you guys. Thank you guys so much. Check out my Instagram, Lou Lagoon. This is Lou Skunt. But yeah, thank you guys again so much. You guys have a great one. I'm going to come back with more guitar repair videos or lives. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.